NAOMI is an NGO in Thessaloniki, and Alex Triantafyllidis is working there, and he's currently representing this institution at an exhibition Vernissage in Stuttgart. What is the aim of the NAOMI NGO?
With this project, we tried to make a first effort to, that's why we called it visible, to promote a safe space that has been running over the last years in Thessaloniki, next to the second reception center of Greece. Reception centers for refugees, asylum seekers, and basically the photo project is a project mostly made by our late colleague Maurizio. He died recently, 2 months ago. It was his dedicated work, and with the girls that you can see in the portraits, they have created this very beautiful and very strong exhibition. The aim of the visit is also to bring more awareness into the management of the refugee population and overall displaced people.
What are the perspectives of the migrants in Greece?
There is a paradox regarding those that are recognized as refugees and those who are rejected regarding their asylum request. As long as they are asylum seekers, there are specific services and they are entitled to specific access, also a cash card, financial assistance. But from the moment that they are recognized as refugees or the moment that they are rejected, all of that stops. So we have a huge number of thousands of people who are left without any proper management. This has created secondary problems in different aspects. One is accommodation, the second is food insecurity, the third one is employability, meaning that they are not allowed to work if they are rejected, and also for integration aspects.
How is the current legislation on NGOs in Greece and how on the refugees concretely? Are there big differences between the Syriza-led government and the Neo-Democratia-led government on these issues?
Those of us who have been working ever since 2016, ever since the first wave of the huge flow of refugees, over 1 million Syrians passed through Greece, we have seen a big difference regarding the number of NGOs active in Greece. We have also seen the limitation year by year of services that were offered, which had to do with legal aid, psychosocial services, and also non-food items and provisions as such. It's almost 2024, and year by year we have an increasingly worrying deterioration of the whole refugee management, if we can say it in that way.
Is the European Union helping the Greek government in this case or not? Because it's often in the media written that the countries, the national governments are not getting enough help from the European Union, and from their own they try to do as much they can, but they often ask for help, for example, from Frontex, but not even Frontex has enough people in the police, and for example policies from other EU members to go there and keep the security. So how is the cooperation between Greece, other EU country national governments, and the European Union level?
That's a very interesting question. It's not an issue of funding. I would say mostly it's an issue of priorities and choices, political choices or economy choices. It seems that there is not a fair and equal distribution of displaced populations already located in EU. Between governments and between states there are some disagreements and some differences of how things should run. I would say that on the one hand there is funding, and on the other hand there is an understaffed organizations, understaffed public or private sector, civil society entities. So my answer to that would be that it's a bit of a complex issue, but at the same time there are some clear evidence by reports, by special newspaper outlets, etc., that show the dysfunction of the management.
How is the situation of the local Greek population in Thessaloniki, and are they friendly to the refugees, or rather find them as a threat to their own existence?
There has been a huge wave of support ever since 2015-2016. There were thousands of people, I would say even half of Greeks, very active and very supportive of the conditions of those people arriving. And over the years, I would say that now, not that the window of tolerance has changed a lot, but we can notice in the society, as you mentioned, a rather kind of apathy towards the issue. We don't have, for example, waves of xenophobia or racism as someone would expect, but we do have a very important number of people, of citizens who tend to be more apathetic regarding this matter, as with other matters as well, unfortunately.
You are having certain courses for your clients. What you are teaching to these people, and can only refugees participate, or also someone from the local Greeks or foreign EU citizens, non-Greek EU citizens as well, if they have interest to do this?
We tend to prioritize those of refugee and migrant background, but this doesn't mean that this is exclusive. In the Textile Academy that we have, We offer lessons, free lessons for all levels of knowledge. We have beginners, we have advanced, we have professionals. Someone who is interested in sewing lessons could start from zero, could start from the beginning and end up under specific criteria, even to be employed in the textile industry, because there is a huge need of skilled workers in that sector in Greece at the moment. There is a big lack of these professionals, and we offer this opportunity for someone to learn from scratch up to the highest level everything that's necessary for him or her to become totally independent sewers in the textile industry in Greece. So sometimes the group can be open even to other people who may not be refugees or migrants. Sometimes we could also have people who were volunteering in the past and they want to learn, so they can become part of the group.
How are you financed? Are you getting money from the city council, from the regional government, or Greek government, or European Union, or private sector, or how is the background, the financial background?
Unfortunately, there is no funding from the state, there is no funding from the ministry, there are no let's say Greek public institutions that support our cause. The funding comes from four different countries and 6 different churches. It's either in Germany, in the Netherlands, and in Italy. Mostly from these 3 countries is the funding of the whole project.
Who are working at your institutions, social workers or other specialized experts, or just different people from different backgrounds who came together and maybe not all professional in the textile industry or in the social work, just who wants to do something, or all people who are working there need to be with certain education in the field, or how is this institution working?
I would separate those who are employed with NAOMI and those who are collaborating or offering their time and services as volunteers. Our team is composed of a sociologist who is the coordinator of the social department. I have under my responsibility the social service of NAOMI. We have a very dedicated salesperson in the production department. We have one very high-skilled teacher, a professional teacher of sewing for all levels. Part of our team is another designer and teacher who has most of the Textile Academy lessons and courses. We have a pedagogue as a coordinator of the Safe Space Casa Base. And from then we have different professionals who may or may not have relevant background in the sector, but who either come and they learn. For example, we have almost all the time we have interns from European countries. We have interns from universities in Germany. We have volunteers from Denmark, It's a never-ending story of people participating, no matter their skills or background or even profession. So, regarding your questions, your question is, I would say there are different levels of participating in the NGO and in the whole effort that we are trying to make.
What is this Casa-based project, and how are those photo artworks which are exhibited now here in Stuttgart at the Theater House here where we are now, how are these photos made, and how is your connection as NAOMI NGO to this Casa-based?
Casa-based is a safe space that is provided and addressed only to women and children. It's a safe space right next to a refugee camp, which is actually a reception and identification camp. This project was done in a long period of time, mostly by the initiative and the effort of Maurizio Cara. He was also a photographer, he was a journalist and photographer. He basically set up the whole project with some of the girls who were frequent participants in the safe space, and they were able to deliver the outcome that you can see during this exhibition for the next until February, so it's open for the audience. The idea was that through photography themselves, the girls themselves become empowered and they become more visible. They become, I would say, protagonists of their life, and by doing so, by engaging in that way, they also get back another sense of empowerment. We do believe that all the activities happening at the safe space, from sports, artistic activities, lessons, cinema nights, everything that happens in that safe space helps them a lot with their past experiences, and also equips them for the difficulties that they may face in the future. So the purpose of that is very crucial for their well-being, but also for their sense of belonging and their sense of being a part of the community.
What are the plans for the future?
We are currently in the process of further development of the whole NGO. We are readdressing the needs, and we are evaluating the specifics of how things are now in Greece, but also in Europe, and we aim at the self-reliance and the integration of those who do wish to stay in Greece. So from our perspective and from our position, we try to contribute so that those who participate will finally be able to sustain themselves regarding their accommodation, regarding their employment, regarding their general participation in society.